Good morning. I pray that your Tuesday was filled with spaces and places of joy, of peace, of happiness. I just left the swimming pool and it's rainy and dreary out. And I wanted to do this video before I got home or to a better looking place because I need to let something go. So the title of this video is Responding to Defensiveness. Responding to Defensiveness. And the reality is I think that every last one of us, if you are alive and breathing, every now and then we get defensive about something. You say something about our children, we get defensive. Sometimes we get defensive about how we're doing things or how we may look, or someone said they didn't like or have a suggestion about what we cooked or whatever. If we're honest, we all have times when we can respond from a place of defensiveness, from a place where we may feel threatened, from a place where we feel like we're being attacked. And so what happened today, I go to a swimming program for seniors, and it's broken up into half-hour slots. So the first half hour, I'm waving to somebody. The first half hour, they do some sort of water aerobics. I don't get there to the second half hour. The second half hour, I do deep water aerobics. And then the third half hour is back to regular aerobics. And then the last half hour, they offer swimming for some people. And so I normally do the deep water, the regular, and then I go to swimming. But what I'm learning is that by the time I get to swimming, I'm a bit exhausted from working out in the water, from working out with water weights. So I was talking to someone in my class today who had stopped coming to swimming. And we were saying, it would be really kind of good if they could move swimming up as opposed to making it the last half hour. So she was getting ready to leave, and she was saying, yeah, I would like that better because I typically have something to do. So she said, well, I'm going to go talk to the person in charge. So she did. And I said, now I'll go talk to them afterwards to say, yeah, I'm voting for this too. So when I came up to the lady a little bit later, like half hour later, and said, yeah, I'm a part of the crew who, would really love if y'all could consider moving swimming up. She was like, what kind of campaign y'all got going on? She immediately snapped on me. And I laughed and I said, oh, it's not a campaign. It's a campaign of two. Just me and the lady who talked to you before. We haven't talked to anybody else. She goes, oh, okay. I was just joking. And then I was saying to her, from my perspective, it would be nice if you moved it up because by the time we get to 9:30, I'm tired. And she was like, well, we can't change the whole schedule because you're tired. Basically working her neck like that. And her voice started to raise. And she goes, we're not going to change the whole schedule just because you tired. So then I said to her, I'm not suggesting that you do, but there may be other people who may feel the same way. And then I decided at that point, we talked a little bit more. And I even said to her, I'm not sure where this conversation is going because my tone of voice remained the same. She was becoming more and more agitated. She was talking about this, she was talking about that. And so it was time for my swim class and she had to teach a class. So she said, well, come back and talk to me afterwards. So I went to my swim class and I was a bit thrown off, because in my opinion, it wasn't that deep. In my opinion, it was simply a suggestion. I'd even said, maybe not for this time, but maybe for the summer semester, you all may want to consider changing the placement of the swimming because, people may be tired or it may not fit people's schedules. And so, needless to say, I was a bit thrown off with my swimming class until I realized, Carolyn, you're allowing this woman's defensive stance to kind of shape and change your whole day. You have no control over why she got defensive. Maybe she thought I was critiquing her program. Maybe she thought I was saying something bad about her. Because actually I was making a suggestion, but maybe she took it as, a critique of that as she did something wrong. Maybe, I don't really know. But one of my classmates in the swimming class kind of noticed that I was, like deep in thought. And she asked me what was wrong. And I told her, she was like, I don't really deal with her, the leader of the program. She said, because she's not really a great leader. Now, I don't know that to be true or not. But what I do know is that when I'm dealing with someone who becomes defensive, it's probably best for me to kind of back up out the conversation. So as a result, after swim class, I did not do what she suggested, which was let's continue this conversation. I made the decision. This is not my program. I'm just a participant. I will adjust myself however I need to so I'm not tired for swim class and go on with my day. And that's what I'm suggesting to you. You know, sometimes we don't realize when we're talking to someone that maybe their aggressive response or how they're responding is because they're being defensive. But I would suggest when you figure out that their response is a bit over the top, it might be good just to kind of take a deep breath and step back and remove yourself from the conversation. Let it go. If it's something important, you can always come back to it later. But if it's something that's not that important, something I could really adjust for myself, then, you know, it's your world. I'm just a squirrel flying around in it. You know, it's your program. So I don't know if I'm rambling in this thing, but I really want to do a video so that I can for sure just let it go and move on with my day and to continue to enjoy this program. Because to be perfectly frank, there was a time when I'd have been holding on to this for who knows how long. But you know, today's a new day. And I recommend that to you. Some folk have been mad at people for years or months behind something that was said or how they felt they had been snapped out a long time ago, and they've never let it go. And it's changed relationships, and it changes how we feel when we see the person. And you know what? Life is too short for that. So on that note, have a wonderful Wednesday. If you're in an area where it's raining, stay dry. Find something to make you smile. Find something to make you laugh. And remember, the last thing, when you're dealing with someone who's being defensive, remember that you have your own times when you're defensive also. So, you know, maybe cut them a break and maybe try to become more mindful when you're becoming defensive. And that's my lesson to me. Yes, she was defensive, but I can get defensive too. So I'm going to pay attention to when I begin to feel threatened, to when I begin to take something out of proportion. Love you all. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.